It started out like any other Saturday. Grandpa came over to babysit Billy and his baby brother William. Grandpa is updating his Twitter status on a shiny new smartphone. This can't be happening to me.
Hey, Billy, now calm down just a second. Tell me, have you been up to check on William lately?
No, Grandpa. I've got bigger problems. Ah!
Now what's the matter, Billy?
I lost my Blackberry. I can't find it anywhere. I've searched this entire house. I'm going to go crazy without it. What am I going to do?
Chill out, Billy. I'm sure you'll find it. It's not like you've lost an arm or something.
It is, Grandpa. My life is worthless without my Blackberry. There's no one to talk to. I can't even text anyone. All of my music is on it, too. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm absolutely bored out of my mind. I might as well curl up and die.
Believe it or not, Billy, life did exist before the Blackberry.
Don't be absurd, Grandpa. How did people keep in touch with each other?
Well, they spoke to each other. No texting, no tweeting. They actually spoke to each other. And they even wrote to each other.
You mean on Instant Messenger and Hotmail?
No, with pen and paper.
Wow, sounds boring.
Come over here, Billy. I'll call up some pictures on this iPhone. Let me show you what communication was like before your beloved Blackberry. When my parents were growing up, people didn't have telephones in their homes. They sent letters to each other in the mail. If they really needed to get a message to someone in a hurry, they could go to the telegraph station and have the message sent by Morse code. Here's a picture of a telegraph machine.
You didn't hear anyone talking on it?
No, Billy. The man operating the telegraph machine would press the button and send messages letter by letter. On the other end, a person would decode the message by listening to the beeps. Every letter had its own code, a series of beeps that could be translated on the other end.
Sounds to me like they were sending text messages.
I guess you're kind of right. When I was a baby, my parents got a radio, and they also got a telephone. This was a really big deal. The radio was a big, heavy thing that took up a big part of the living room floor. It only picked up a few AM channels.
What? No iTunes?
No, Billy, no iTunes. The telephone was also a big machine. It had a mouthpiece and a separate headpiece that you held up to your ear. When you needed to make a phone call, you dialed the operator and requested who you wanted to be connected to. You couldn't call anyone without first calling the operator. By the time I was a teenager, we had direct dial phones, and people had their own telephone numbers. I remember getting our first television in 1950. It was a big, heavy thing with a small black and white screen. The picture was horrible, but we absolutely loved it.
Did you have cable?
No, cable television didn't really become popular until the late 1970s. We picked up a few channels on the antenna on our roof.
You didn't have MTV2?
We didn't have MTV1. Color TV didn't even become popular until the late 1960s.
Wow, Grandpa, you sure did it rough.
It was all new and exciting to us. We didn't complain. I remember how excited I was to get my first TV with a wireless remote control in 1985. That was the year I became a couch potato.
But what about phones? When did you get your first cell phone?
Cell phones didn't really become popular until the late 1990s. This happened in your lifetime, Billy. I got my first cell phone in 1999. It was a big brick of a thing.
Did it have a camera?
No, Billy. As a matter of fact, it only dialed numbers. It didn't even send text messages. The smartphones only really started getting popular at the beginning of this decade. We've only been texting each other and taking photos for the past few years.
Surfing the web is still very new on cell phones. The wireless networks are only just getting fast enough to handle web browsing. Wow, Grandpa, this has been very interesting. I guess you're right. Life did exist before the Blackberry. But you must admit, life sure is better now. We certainly are more connected now, and technology will only get better and better each year. One day your grandchildren will wonder how you survived on a primitive Blackberry. Speaking of which, I need to find my Blackberry. I've got people to text, and my Facebook status hasn't been updated for at least 20 minutes. I'll try calling your number. It sounds like it's upstairs. Is that in William's room?
Look at this. I'm a free man. I go anywhere I want now and trade. E-Trade Mobile Pro. Right on my Blackberry. Wait, yeah, get an email. Oh, you're a bad girl. Man. Anyway, you know, I can get streaming quotes on it. God, relentless. Hang on a sec. Hey girl, can I hit you back?